What kind of bag is this?
What's he unboxing? What'd it be? Well, I don't know. Shut up and see.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. As you probably know, I am a Joe Lansdale fan. He is the Stephen King of East Tennessee. And the problem with Joe Lansdale and me, our relationship, is that he writes more books than I can read. That doesn't stop me from continuing to collect him, especially signed first editions. The guy signs a lot, so it's not hard to find signed copies. Sometimes you can even buy them direct from him, his own self, which I did. I got like 3 books signed to Jeffing Off, this channel's previous name. So that was fun, and I have those. And I think I have more Joe Lansdale signatures than any other author in my collection. Although I hope to beat that with Philip Fracassi signatures, but that's a whole other video. So when he announced he was going to be doing a signing in Houston and that you can buy signed books direct from the bookstore, I was geeked out because I like buying from independent bookstores that have relationships with authors. To me, that's my preferred way to go. I love collecting first edition hardcovers that are signed, but especially so if they are part of a sale that's going on with a bookstore that the author has a relationship with. So I jumped on it. The bookstore was Murder by the Book, which is how I want to go, to be completely honest. And this is the 13th book in the Hap and Leonard series. Getting back to my original point about how Joe Lansdale writes more books than I can read, I have never read a Hap and Leonard novel. I'm only missing 2, Jackrabbit Smile and Rumble Tumble. But I even have the SST editions of the Hap and Leonard series. So the few they've done 3, I believe. And I have all 3. So I have them all. I'm dying to read them, starting with Savage Season and going all the way through. That's not a flex if you haven't read the books. So, but I will. Now, I'll say that I was upset to see it come in a padded envelope. This is not the way to ship hardcover editions unless they're like ex-library books and they're just reading copies. But this is a signed first edition, and it's shipped in a padded envelope. Kind of a bummer, but that's the way it is. And no matter the condition of the book, I'm not returning it. I'm not going to do that whole thing, you know. So I'm going to accept the contents of this and move on. But it does bum me out. So I'm hoping for straight and tight corners on this book. But the other thing I'm struck with is, like, there's a book in here. Is there any better feeling than holding a book? Like, it's not even out of the bag yet, and it's a great feeling to get a book and to have a book. You're not going to get that charge holding a DVD case, you know, or your Kindle. It's just not the same thing. Holding a book, a hardcover book, is like it gets those, you know, you're anticipating an adventure, something awesome, a great time, hours of enjoyment and delightful reading. So I'm just appreciating that moment before I even unbox it. And I know what you're thinking, Jeff, you just bitched about a padded envelope, but now you're happy that padded envelope allows you to feel the book ahead of time. Padded envelopes do not get the Dragon Lord. They just get this little buck knife. That's all they deserve, padded envelopes. But you also got to be very careful because the book's right there, man. Well, I'm a little happier to see that the book is in a paper bag wrap type thing. So that's good. It's not going to do anything for impact, but it will prevent scuffing, I guess. But if you're going to go through the trouble of wrapping the book like a gift wrap, just put in a stronger box. I mean, they make them so inexpensive. Yeah, so yep. So we got the dust jackets damaged here, little flap there, and I notice The corner is akimbo. I mean, that's what happens. It's a padded envelope. I don't know if I just have a run of bad luck and I have an exceptionally disproportionate number of dinged quarters from padded envelopes, or if that's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. So that is a major bummer, man. It's a pretty gnarly ding there. So anyway, signed. Oh yeah. So this is cool. I had it signed and inscribed to the Jeff word. So I corrected the previous signatures that were to Jeffing off. So now it's to the Jeff word. And he signed directly over the crossed bones. But very cool. To the Jeff word. Like it. Digging it. 13th book in the series. Again, haven't read any of them. And let's get a look at that naked ding. Yep, there you go. There's a look. See, now, I wouldn't spend so much time, and that shouldn't take any time to highlight. But now, it's like, yeah, I've got a signed first edition dinged copy. And again, I'm not going to go through the whole return complaint process. But it's a bummer. It's a bummer. So I am happy to get the book, Sugar on the Bones, Hap and Leonard, number 13. It's a good, lucky number, number 13. And I'm going to read it straight through from the beginning to book 13. I'm also going to try to find out where books like Cocoa Butternut fit in. I want to know the chronologically correct order of the stories, not just publication date, but where Hap and Leonard are in their lives in the stories, and read it that way. It's probably going to align pretty well with the chronological thing, but I think there are other little Hap and Leonard novellas that fall outside, and you have to find out where they fit in the arc of the whole series. Because they were published at a later date or something. But anyway, that's for New Adventures, and here it is. Now, I wish I could recommend buying a signed copy from Murder by the Book, but if dings ain't your thing, then I think you should just either go to the live event and get your copy there. That way you know it came off the shelf and it's all tight, nice and tight. And then you take it to the Mojo Storyteller. He signs it for you. You get to see him. The guy's incredible. Incredible guy. Live and in person. He's a very friendly, talkative dude. And a brilliant author. And you get to support local bookstores. I am glad I supported a local bookstore, even though it's not local to me. I think I like that, but dudes, just put it in a hard envelope or something, just like a little, it makes smaller boxes and then just a little bit minimal. I know it's an extra step, but you gift wrapped it. There's no art or anything to show. So no need for elaborate photography, and I'm not going to focus pictures on the dings or anything, but I got this. I'm probably going to try to hunt down a signed copy of Jack Rabbit Smile and maybe a signed copy of Rumble Tumble, because I believe every other copy I have on my shelf is signed in the Hap and Leonard series. And who knows, maybe SST will someday do the entire Hap and Leonard series, so I can have an undinged hardcover with a Dirk Berger artwork in it, perhaps. But until then, almost forgot, it came with a Murder by the Book bookmark. These stories are killer. Very cool. I like the bookmark. And signing soon at Murder by the Book. They got upcoming events. They have, Gabino Iglesias. Yes. Oh, no way. Look who they got there. Chizzy Dick. Richard Chismar is going to be there in October in Houston. So if you're down in Houston in October, he'll be promoting memorials probably, and he'll want you to send a receipt maybe to Cemetery Dance for a free napkin that Stephen King blew his nose into, or something like that. I don't know what the contest will be at that time. But oh, that's funny to see him there. So anyway, that was cool. And I'll look over these other signings. I'm not going to be in Houston anytime soon, so I probably won't go to the Chismar event. But support your local bookstores. Am I going to buy another book from Murder by the Book? No, not via the mail, unfortunately. So Maria's Bookshop has Blake Crouch books. She shipped really well. I say she because it's Maria. Parnassus Books, they know how to do it. They shipped Jason Pargan really well. So those are just two off the top of my head that have shipped ding-free books. So go check them out if you are a fan of those other authors. Follow Joe Lansdale so you'll know where he's signing next. Thank you for joining me this time. I hope to see you again next time. And in the meantime, stay frosty.
So the app that I use to edit these videos is now charging me money so I can add music, the royalty-free tracks that I used to put at the end of this, and now it's even worse. You have to hear my voice a little more. Oh, and I totally lied. I'm going to show you these dings up close. It turns out that Murder by the Book got all four corners dinged. So I have all four corners dinged on my signed first edition inscribed copy of Sugar on the Bones. Mega bummer, to say the least. Oh, and don't forget to check out Richard Chismar Wednesday, October 23rd, 6:30 p.m. Central at Murder by the Book.